Amarachi My Village Wife, Episode 11. The days following Chinidu's return to Omadara were difficult. Every morning, he woke up determined to make things right. But he quickly discovered that forgiveness was not something that could be demanded. It had to be earned. And Amarachi was not making it easy. Whenever they met, she remained polite, respectful, calm, but distant. The warmth she once had for him was gone. The love that had once shined in her eyes had been replaced by caution. And Chinidu could not blame her. One afternoon, he visited her farm carrying a basket of seedlings. "I thought these might help," he said. Amarachi accepted them politely. "Thank you. Nothing more. No ismite. No invitation to stay." As he walked away, Chinidu realized that rebuilding trust would take much longer than he imagined. Meanwhile, Obiora continued supporting Amarachi. He helped her expand her business, introduced her to new suppliers, and encouraged her whenever challenges appeared. Unlike Chinidu, Obiora never made grand promises. He simply showed up, day after day, week after week. His actions spoke louder than words. One evening, after inspecting a new farmland together, Obiora and Amarachi sat beneath a large tree watching the sunset. For a while, neither spoke. The breeze moved gently through the fields. Finally, Obiora broke the silence. "Amarachi," she turned toward him. "Yes, there is something I need to tell you." His voice was unusually serious. Amarachi felt her heart beat faster. Obiora took a deep breath. "I love you." The words hung in the air. Simple, honest, sincere. No games, no pressure, just truth. Amarachi froze. For months, she had suspected his feelings. But hearing the words aloud felt different. Much different. Obiora continued. "I know your heart has been hurt. I know you're still healing. I'm not asking for an answer today." He looked into her eyes. "I only want you to know how I feel." Amarachi remained silent. Her emotions were suddenly tangled, confused, overwhelming. Before she could respond, Obiora smiled gently. "Take all the time you need." Then he stood up and walked away, leaving her alone with her thoughts. That night, Amarachi could not sleep. She sat outside her house staring at the stars. Part of her admired Obiora deeply. He was kind, reliable, honest, everything she once wished Chinidu had been. Yet another part of her heart remained unsettled. Not because she still loved Chinidu the same way, but because some wounds had not completely healed, and unfinished stories are difficult to forget. The following day, Chinidu noticed something was wrong. Amarachi seemed distracted, thoughtful, distant. Eventually, he learned the truth from villagers. Obiora had confessed his feelings. The news hit him like a thunderbolt. For the first time, the reality became unavoidable. He was no longer competing with memories. He was competing with a real man, a good man, a man who had been there when Amarachi needed support, a man who deserved her trust. That realization frightened him, because deep down, Chinidu knew Obiora might be the better choice. Determined not to give up, Chinidu continued trying to prove himself. He volunteered on community projects, helped elderly villagers repair their homes, worked alongside farmers. For the first time in years, he stopped chasing wealth and status. Instead, he focused on becoming a better person. Many villagers noticed the change. Some remained skeptical. Others began believing he was sincere. Even Amarachi noticed. One afternoon, she watched him helping an elderly farmer repair a damaged fence. The old Chinidu would never have done that, not after becoming successful in Lagos. For the first time since his return, she saw genuine humility in him, and it confused her even more. Days later, Mama Ngozi sat beside Amarachi outside their home. "My daughter," she said softly, "you have been thinking too much." Amarachi smiled weakly. "Is it that obvious?" Mama Ngozi loughed. "Very obvious." The older woman became serious. "Tell me the truth. Do you still love Chinidu?" Amarachi stared into the distance. After a long silence, she answered, "I don't know." Mama Ngozi nodded. "And Obiora?" Again silence. "He's a good man." "That wasn't my question." Amarachi lowered her eyes. "I care about him." Mama Ngozi smiled knowingly. "Then your heart already knows more than you think." As weeks passed, Amarachi found herself standing at a crossroads. Behind her was the pain of the past. Before her stood the possibility of a new future. One path led to Chenidu, the man who broke her heart but seemed determined to change. The other led to Obiora, the man who had consistently shown her kindness, loyalty, and respect. For the first time in her life, the choice belonged entirely to her. Not fate, not promises, not expectations. Her. And as the sun set over Umadara village, Amarachi realized that the biggest decision of her life was drawing near. Thanks for watching.